where he and his wife then produce the child. And the child then becomes the hypotenuse of the long side, just like Horus. You and your wife.
You'd have to know how to live, and then you'd
is,
only have to produce a child every 13 years.
Well, that's how you produce life and family.
But most of us don't know that if you're going to make a holy child, you only produce one every 13 years.
You're just producing a small child that's going to grow up, develop.
You could produce a Christ, God, Jesus kid if you knew the rules.
You could do it.
And that means you only reproduce every 13 years.
Right. You know.
Well, you have to go more into that because now the foods and the way it's set up, you have to hold. You have to stay, you know, in the. She has to stay pregnant for that whole term to do a Christ God. You know, and the reason that's why they're making you, they induce you after 10 months. You know, you get 9 months, they'll start pushing you out because they know they won't let you make that God-like child.
Well, that's what the chess club was trying to set up.
And that's where most of us are missing, is that it go back to that zodiac. You know, we're all missing, you know, those other three.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that chess club that they set up, I respected that because what you were producing is, you were producing a man that had some wisdom and knowledge, and then you were producing his woman to have the same knowledge. Between them communicating between themselves. They would be the sum of the square of the two short sides. And then the child then would be the hypotenuse of the long side. The child would be the same as the two parents.
Do you have that DVD?
You know,
yeah, because if you look at that,
that's what we've lost.
That's 3 hours of what we're talking about. Only I go into all the medical books and show you all the stuff in there. So you'll see Jesus on the cross. You see all that from your anatomy. Now, what was this about the hypotenuse and whatever?
Well, my theory would be if I grow up to be a man, and a man to me is someone that developed himself under the 4 elements of life.
Which are what?
He would be the same as a SWAT sticker. The 4 right angles, he would be the earth, the water, the fire, and the air.
Well, how would he do that? How do you do that?
Well, he would be that based on how he developed himself and how well he educated himself.
But that's not telling us how.
Well, I had to go through that life myself. That's why I know it. I had to go through understanding the physical and what I had to do in order to be physical. And the fact is, being physical and moral, intellectual, and spiritually, that's what it takes to be a man. See, you can't be no man unless you develop. Because, see, you got to come up from an apprentice, a journeyman, to be a master.
You keep saying
that's
that.
Why the Masons.
That's that Mason talk. You still corrupted.
That's why they got you under the bottom of their feet, because they got a system of morality, veiled in allegories, illustrated through symbolism, and then they practice it. They're at the top of the pyramid where everybody else is slaves.
That's not true.
Yes, it's true. The white Masons and the Jew has got mostly everybody underneath their foot because they have a system that they're working out of.
The system is called white supremacy.
No, they got a system. Anybody can take and make a fool out of you. That your understanding should be very clear. That's something that he's doing to have a jump on me. You could use the same system on a football team if you're the coach. You got the best system. You're gonna.
But do you know that system was stolen, sir?
What?
From us? I mean, you keep giving it credit.
That system comes from Africa.
That's correct. So once you say that, instead of saying
the 4 elements of life come out of Africa, and guess what? It's based on an occult knowledge that kept the secrets from you, so you couldn't use it for yourself.
Okay, here's the elements you're talking about. But how, knowing this? See, that goes back to this book that we're talking about. That's why Dr. Gum needed to break this down. This is called elemental.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Elemental is the first stage of knowledge.
That's true.
Now, but knowing that's not going to give me power by itself. So what else do I need to have in order to make this become powerful?
If I'm going to build this building, sir, I'm going to have to use a square.
Man, you realize how far down the path that is?
No, I'm just saying, no. I'm going to have to use that technique and tool to do that.
Okay, let me back you up. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
When you were first put on the earth, okay, you didn't need to live in a damn building. That's all white think, okay? You don't need to live in a building. You are a part of nature. If you want to be in harmony with nature, you probably would be better suited not to be stuck in this dead building. Okay? Everything in this building is dead, dude. You can't get life out of death. That's the law of opposites. You can't spin that any other way. So when you start putting, they didn't notice their temples didn't have roofs on them, man.
Well, where did the white man get engineering from and mathematics and science?
He got it from you, but this is what he did to it. He flipped it over.
But okay, where did he get the square from?
He got all knowledge from African people, and they got it from experience.
He got it from the sun and the sky. The sun and the sky is what produces all of these tools.
He got the information
when the sun comes from the east
you.
In the morning.
Look, man, he didn't know that.
Who?
He thought the damn world was flat in 1492. So what the hell are you talking about?
I'm saying the Africans knew it.
But you said the white folk.
Make up your mind.
Make up the mind now.
The white man borrowed this culture from the black man.
We all know that. So what is your point with this, sir?
I kind of think I need to wipe back on this here. Because let me say this here. When you're going to build something, brother, regardless of whether it's building or whatever you're doing in life, whether you're going to be a plumber or what have you, or electrician, you're going to come through 3 stages: an apprentice, a journeyman, and a master. And that comes from a study of the sun that we use, the springtime, the summertime, and the fall. We use that sun to determine who we are and where we are. It has to be explained to you properly in order to get the proper understanding.
How did you get this information? First of which, look, it could not be from what you're saying. Because where they are, it ain't sunny.
You know what I do, brother? I'm going to tell you something. Now, I deal with a situation here where it's been socially engineered to keep black folks out of golf.
Watch this.
Okay, so what I've been...
Wait a minute. It's real simple. All we got to do is go outside. If you go outside right now, it's cloudy in the winter in the northern hemisphere, bro. So you can't tell me about the sun 360 days of the year because you can't see it, half of them. So you could not have been the person to come up with any of this.
Are you telling me that you couldn't come up with the sun producing a plum at 12 o'clock?
What? White people are all found in the northern hemisphere. The climate is not conducive to doing what you're talking about.
Could the judge downtown open and govern his court the same way the sun is open and governed today? Could the jury, based on 12 signs of the zodiac?
Okay, so what's your point?
My point is that I'm trying to make a point without anybody, I'm just making a point, right or wrong. But most people...
Well, you got to have right in these points now. You can't give wrong information. Well, you got folks in here listening to that.
You just might not be ready for certain things.
He says you might not be ready.
Are you familiar with Santos?
Santo? No, I don't know. Okay, about Santo.
Between now, you have internet?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.